It has been nearly 3 decades since Titanic first sailed into theaters and into our hearts. The film became a phenomenon, not just for its spectacle and romance, but for the unforgettable cast who brought it to life. Time has passed, careers have evolved, and lives have changed. Today we look back at the men and women who helped make Titanic one of the greatest films ever made, and see where their journeys have taken them. These are the stars of Titanic, then and now. Let's begin with the young dreamer who captured the heart of Rose and audiences around the world. Leonardo DiCaprio. In 1997, he was Jack Dawson, the free-spirited artist from Steerage who taught us that love can cross every barrier. At just 22, DiCaprio became a global sensation almost overnight. His charm and raw emotion defined the role, and his "I'm the king of the world" moment became movie history. Today, Leonardo is more than an actor. He is an Oscar winner, producer, and one of Hollywood's most respected environmental activists. His films like The Revenant, Inception, and Killers of the Flower Moon prove that the boy who drew Rose in the ship's cabin grew into a man who shapes modern cinema. From the heart of Jack, we move to the spirit of Rose. Kate Winslet. In Titanic, she embodied elegance, defiance, and courage as Rose DeWitt Bukater, a woman trapped by society but liberated by love. Winslet was only 21 when she became one of the youngest actresses ever nominated for an Academy Award. Since then, she has built a career filled with daring choices. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, The Reader, Mayor of Easttown. Roles that explore depth, resilience, and humanity. Today, she remains both a Hollywood powerhouse and a devoted mother, proud of a career guided by artistry over fame. While audiences adored Jack and Rose, another figure stirred emotion in a very different way. Billy Zane as Caledon Hockley, the wealthy fiancé whose jealousy and pride made him one of cinema's great villains. His elegance, arrogance, and desperation gave the story its dangerous edge. After Titanic, Zane continued to act in independent films, thrillers, and stage productions, always embracing versatility. Off-screen, he paints, produces, and often reflects on how Cal's polished menace shaped his artistic life. He remains a striking example of how even an antagonist can capture lasting fascination. From Cal's high society, we turn to the woman who refused to be defined by class. Kathy Bates as Molly Brown, the unsinkable socialite with a heart of gold. She was witty, brave, and determined, the one who told others to put their backs into it when courage was needed most. Bates already had an Oscar before Titanic, yet her role as Molly introduced her to a new generation of fans. Today, she continues to shine in both film and television, tackling every project with intelligence and grit. A cancer survivor and activist, she embodies strength on and off screen, much like the woman she portrayed. Every strong daughter has a mother who shapes her world. Frances Fisher played Ruth DeWitt Bukater, Rose's commanding mother who symbolized the pressure of reputation and wealth. Her performance added layers to the film's emotional conflict, showing how fear can masquerade as control. Since Titanic, Fisher has worked steadily in both film and television, appearing in acclaimed dramas and mentoring young actors. She often says that playing Ruth taught her empathy for complex women and remains one of her proudest roles. Now we shift from the upper decks to the story's haunting frame, the voice of memory that connected past and present. Gloria Stewart as the older Rose Dawson Calvert. With gentle lies and a trembling voice, she gave Titanic its timeless heart. When she said, "It's been 84 years," the world fell silent. Stewart, who had been a Hollywood star in the 1930s, found renewed fame at age 87. Her performance earned her an Academy Award nomination, and she became a symbol of perseverance in art. She lived to 100, leaving behind the message that age never dims true talent. While Rose shared her memories, another figure was obsessed with uncovering them. Bill Paxton portrayed Brock Lovett, the treasure hunter searching for the heart of the ocean. Through his eyes, we enter the wreck and relive the past. Behind the scenes, Paxton's enthusiasm and curiosity mirrored his characters. He went on to a celebrated career with hits like Apollo 13, Twister, and Big Love. His sudden passing in 2017 left fans mourning one of Hollywood's most genuine talents. His warmth and curiosity continue to echo every time we revisit Titanic's modern-day storyline. From seekers of treasure to builders of destiny, one man in the film stood for craftsmanship and responsibility: Victor Garber as Thomas Andrews, the ship's designer. His calm wisdom and quiet sorrow made him unforgettable. When Andrews stood by the clock, accepting the inevitable, audiences wept. Garber, already a respected stage actor, has continued to enjoy success in film, television, and theater. His kindness and professionalism have made him one of the industry's most admired figures, embodying the same grace as the man who built Titanic. Every ship has guardians of order, and Titanic was no exception. David Warner brought life to Spicer Lovejoy, Cal's loyal yet menacing valet. His sharp gaze and poised demeanor made him both dangerous and fascinating. Warner's career spans decades across classics like Time After Time and Tron. He passed away in 2022, but his rich legacy as one of Britain's finest character actors endures. Titanic also introduced a host of talented supporting performers who each helped build the ship's world. Jonathan Hyde played J. Bruce Ismay, the White Star Line executive whose ambition clouded judgment. His complex portrayal of guilt and pride captured the human side of disaster. Hyde continues to appear in major productions and stage plays, respected for his craft and his versatility. Bernard Hill took on the role of Captain Edward Smith, a man admired by crew and passengers alike. His stoic leadership and tragic dignity gave the film weight. Hill's later work in the Lord of the Rings trilogy brought him renewed fame, and his commanding presence remains a hallmark of British cinema. Among the crew was a young officer whose face many still remember from those tense moments on deck: Iowan Gruffud as Fifth Officer Harold Lowe. That role marked one of his earliest major appearances. Since then, he has starred in numerous television dramas and films, establishing himself as a respected international actor. Another familiar face was Danny Nucci, who played Jack's lively friend Fabrizio. His humor and heart made audiences love him instantly. Today, he continues to act in television and film, proud to be part of a movie that defined a generation. We also remember the loyal ship steward, portrayed by Jonathan Phillips, whose brief but memorable moments captured the chaos of duty. And the Irish immigrants led by the radiant character played by Jeanette Goldstein, who embodied the human cost of tragedy with tenderness and grace. Each of these supporting roles added authenticity to the story and ensured Titanic felt alive with real people, not just characters. As we look at this remarkable ensemble, it becomes clear that Titanic was more than a movie. It was a launchpad, a tribute, and a memorial all at once. For some, it marked the beginning of long celebrated careers. For others, it served as their final masterpiece. Collectively, their work helped Titanic sail beyond the screen and into history. When the film premiered in December 1997, few could have predicted its impact. It became the first movie to gross over $1 billion, eventually earning more than $2 billion worldwide. It won 11 Academy Awards and cemented James Cameron as a visionary director. But its lasting power comes not from the spectacle, but from the faces, voices, and emotions that made every moment real. Today, nearly 30 years later, the cast continues to inspire. Kate Winslet still embraces challenging roles and advocates for body positivity in Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio uses his fame to fight for the planet. Kathy Bates lends her influence to raise awareness for lymphedema. Victor Garber shares wisdom with young performers. The legacy of Titanic lives in every performance that followed, in every filmmaker who dreams bigger, and in every audience that still feels that haunting melody when they hear, "My heart will go on." So how many of these faces did you recognize? Which transformation surprised you most? Tell us in the comments and share your favorite scene from the film. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Then versus Now journeys. Because while the years pass and the ship remains at the bottom of the Atlantic, the stories of its cast continue to rise above the waves. Eternal, unforgettable, and unsinkable.